Did you know that one small driving mistake in February 2026 could quietly cost you more than a full month's salary? Not a crash. Not reckless driving. Just a routine habit millions of drivers repeat every single day. In Florida, new enforcement rules mean what used to be a warning, or a small ticket, can now trigger hefty fines, hidden fees, and long-term insurance hikes. Most drivers won't even realize the damage until their bank balance starts shrinking. Here's the scary part. These laws don't hit all at once. They stack silently. One citation leads to another. One minor mistake flags your driving record. Then come the insurance penalties, renewal fees, and unexpected costs that keep draining your money for months, or even years. And the system doesn't care if you didn't know. What if I told you that Law Number 7 and Law Number 10 are catching experienced drivers completely off guard? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see how everyday driving habits could turn into a financial nightmare, and how to protect yourself before it's too late. Number 1. Speeding costs explode. In Florida, speeding is no longer just about how fast you were going, it's about how expensive that moment becomes. Starting February 2026, even driving a few miles per hour over the limit can trigger much higher base fines than before. What feels like normal traffic flow is now being treated as a measurable risk factor. Safety studies show that small increases in speed sharply raise crash severity, and lawmakers are using that data to justify tougher penalties across the board. Here's where drivers get blindsided. The ticket itself is only the beginning. Once the citation hits your record, insurance algorithms react instantly. Premiums jump. Discounts disappear. Some drivers see increases that last 3 to 5 years, all from a single stop. Add court costs, administrative fees, and possible traffic school expenses, and suddenly a quick drive to work becomes a 4-figure financial hit. This system doesn't warn you, it bills you later. The most dangerous part is habit. Many drivers set their speed based on surrounding cars, not the posted limit. But enforcement zones, cameras, and targeted patrols are designed to catch exactly that behavior. The smartest move now is building a small speed buffer and treating speed limits as hard lines, not suggestions. One moment of impatience can quietly drain your bank account long after the road is behind you. Which driving habit do you think costs people the most money without them realizing it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We put serious effort into breaking these laws down clearly. Subscribe now, it's just one click, and it helps us keep protecting your wallet. Number 2. Insurance penalty traps. In Florida, February 2026 marks a quiet but dangerous shift in how traffic violations affect your money. It's no longer just the fine that hurts, it's what happens after the ticket. Insurance companies now react faster and more aggressively to even first-time driving offenses. Backed by risk modeling studies and long-term accident data, insurers treat certain violations as early warning signs, not isolated mistakes. That means one citation can instantly flag your profile as high risk. Most drivers never see this coming. You pay the ticket, move on, and think the issue is over. Weeks later, your renewal notice arrives, and the numbers don't make sense. Monthly premiums jump, loyalty discounts vanish, and some drivers are quietly pushed into higher risk categories. Over a year, that increase can cost far more than the original fine, and unlike tickets, insurance penalties repeat every single month. This is how small mistakes turn into slow financial leaks. What makes this especially dangerous is timing. These penalties often hit during renewal periods when families are already stretched thin. There's no warning call, no appeal letter, just a higher bill. The smartest protection is prevention. Keeping a clean record, understanding which violations insurers penalize the most, and avoiding borderline behaviors that used to feel harmless. In 2026, your driving record isn't just about safety, it's a financial profile that follows you everywhere. Has your insurance ever gone up without a clear explanation? Share your experience in the comments. We spend hours breaking this down so you don't pay the price. Subscribe now, it's just one click, and stay ahead of these costly traps. Number 3. Camera enforcement surge. Across Florida, traffic enforcement is becoming less visible, but far more powerful. In February 2026, expanded use of automated traffic cameras means you don't need to see a police officer to get fined. Red light cameras are no longer the only concern. Speed detection systems, intersection monitoring, and high-risk corridor cameras are increasing in coverage. These systems operate 24/7, and they don't issue warnings, they issue bills. The technology behind them is built on accident data and crash pattern research. Officials argue that consistent automated enforcement reduces repeat violations and improves safety. But for drivers, the financial impact can be sharp and sudden. A citation arrives in the mail weeks later, sometimes when you barely remember the moment. There's no roadside explanation, no discussion, just a notice demanding payment. Add processing fees and late penalties, and what began as a split-second decision can grow into a serious financial setback. The real danger is psychological. Drivers behave differently when they see patrol cars, but cameras are silent and unpredictable. Many are placed in areas where drivers slightly accelerate after clearing intersections. The smartest strategy now is consistency. Smooth stops, cautious acceleration, and assuming monitored zones are more common than you think. In 2026, the road may look normal, but invisible enforcement could already be watching. Have you ever received a camera ticket that completely surprised you? Tell us what happened in the comments. We research and break this down to protect you. Subscribe now, it's just one click, and stay one step ahead. Number 4. Distracted driving crackdown. In Florida, February 2026 brings a tougher and much broader definition of distracted driving, and that's where many drivers get trapped. This is no longer just about texting. Briefly checking navigation, adjusting music, or glancing at a notification can now be interpreted as a violation in certain situations. Safety research shows that even a 2-second glance away from the road dramatically increases crash risk, and lawmakers are using that data to justify stricter enforcement and heavier penalties. What makes this law expensive is how easily it escalates. A first stop may feel minor, but once distracted driving is noted on your record, secondary penalties multiply. Fines increase, points add up faster, and insurance companies treat these violations as high-risk behavior. Over time, drivers can lose safe driver discounts, face mandatory courses, or see premium hikes that quietly drain hundreds, or thousands, of dollars per year. All of this can stem from a habit that once felt harmless. The real danger is routine. Modern cars are full of screens, alerts, and controls, and drivers are conditioned to interact with them constantly. But enforcement now focuses on any visible distraction, especially in traffic zones, school areas, and intersections. The safest financial move is simple. Set navigation before driving, silence non-essential alerts, and treat your phone like it's locked away. In 2026, convenience behind the wheel comes at a very real price, be honest. What distracts you the most while driving? Drop it in the comments and let's talk about it. We put serious effort into these breakdowns. Subscribe now, it's just one click, and protect yourself before the fines hit. Number 5. Aggressive driving fines. In Florida, February 2026 draws a hard line between normal impatience and what the law now calls aggressive driving. Actions many drivers consider routine, tailgating to signal frustration, rapid lane changes to save time, or blocking a lane out of irritation, are now being grouped together under stricter enforcement rules. Research on road rage and collision patterns shows that these behaviors dramatically increase crash severity, and lawmakers are responding with heavier fines and faster penalties. What shocks most drivers is how quickly these violations escalate. Aggressive driving citations often carry higher base fines, more points, and stronger insurance consequences than standard moving violations. One report on your driving record can trigger premium increases that last for years. In some cases, repeat behavior can lead to mandatory courses or license restrictions, adding time costs on top of financial ones. What feels like a moment of stress can quietly turn into a long-term money drain. The real trap is emotional driving. Congested roads, construction zones, and slow traffic push people into decisions they wouldn't normally make. But enforcement officers and camera systems are trained to spot patterns, speed changes, following distance, and lane behavior. The smartest move in 2026 is patience. Leaving a few extra minutes early, maintaining safe following distance, and resisting the urge to teach someone a lesson can save you far more than time. On Florida roads now, calm driving is cheaper driving. Which aggressive driving habit do you see most often on the road? Call it out in the comments. We put real effort into protecting you from these costly mistakes. Subscribe now, it's just one click, and stay ahead of the fines. Number 6. Vehicle compliance fines. In Florida, February 2026 turns everyday vehicle condition issues into unexpected money traps. Law enforcement is increasing roadside checks and automated scans for equipment compliance. Things like headlights, brake lights, license plate visibility, window tint levels, tire condition, and even cracked windshields. Safety research links poor vehicle maintenance to higher crash risk, and regulators are using that data to justify stricter enforcement with higher penalties. Here's what catches drivers off guard. Many of these violations don't feel urgent. A dim headlight, slightly worn tires, a plate partially blocked by dirt or a frame. But once you're stopped, the fine is only the first hit. You may also be required to repair the issue within a short window, pay inspection or verification fees, and still face insurance consequences if the stop leads to additional citations. In some cases, multiple small issues are ticketed at once, turning a routine drive into a stack of fines that add up fast. The real danger is neglect, not recklessness. Most drivers don't regularly check their vehicle until something fails. But in 2026, enforcement assumes responsibility is proactive. A simple monthly walk-around, checking lights, plates, tires, and visibility, can save hundreds or even thousands of dollars over time. Vehicle compliance is no longer just about safety. It's about avoiding silent financial damage from issues you didn't think mattered. On Florida roads, a poorly maintained car is now an expensive risk. When was the last time you actually checked your car instead of just driving it? Tell us honestly in the comments. We put real effort into saving you money. Subscribe now, it's just one click, and stay protected before fines find you. Number 7. Record monitoring upgrade. In Florida, February 2026 introduces something many drivers won't see, but will definitely feel: more aggressive driver record monitoring. Your driving history is no longer reviewed occasionally or only after major violations. New systems allow faster data sharing between agencies and insurance providers, meaning updates to your record happen quickly and stay visible longer. Backed by traffic risk research and predictive behavior models, authorities now treat your record like a live financial profile, not a dusty file in storage. Here's why that matters. One minor violation used to fade into the background over time. Now, digital monitoring tools flag patterns, frequency, timing, type of offense, and assign risk scores. That score influences insurance rates, renewal approvals, and even eligibility for certain coverage discounts. A small ticket in February could still be costing you money years later. And because this system works quietly in the background, many drivers never connect the dots between an old citation and a new premium spike. The real risk isn't one big mistake, it's accumulation. Two minor violations close together can trigger automatic reclassification as a higher-risk driver. That means higher monthly costs without a single serious crash. The smartest move now is long-term thinking. Protect your record like you protect your credit score. In 2026, your driving history isn't just about legality. It's about ongoing financial consequences that follow you everywhere. You know exactly what's on your driving record right now? Be honest in the comments. We research this so you don't pay the hidden price. Subscribe now, it's just one click, and stay ahead of costly surprises. Number 8. Document deadline penalties. In Florida, February 2026 turns paperwork mistakes into expensive driving violations. Many drivers assume that expired registration, delayed insurance updates, or a missed license renewal are minor administrative issues. But new enforcement rules treat these lapses as compliance failures, not harmless oversights. Studies on uninsured and improperly registered vehicles show higher financial and safety risks, and lawmakers are using that data to justify immediate penalties with little flexibility. What makes this law dangerous is how easily it happens. Renewal notices get lost. Emails go to spam. A busy week turns into a missed deadline. Then one routine stop, or even an automated system check, exposes the issue. The fine is only the beginning. Drivers may face reinstatement fees, proof of compliance costs, and in some cases temporary driving restrictions. Insurance companies also see these lapses as risk indicators, which can lead to higher premiums even after everything is corrected. The real problem is timing. These penalties often hit during financially tight periods, when families least expect them. And unlike mechanical issues, Paperwork violations offer no grace period once flagged. The smartest defense is automation. Calendar reminders, auto-renewals, and regular document checks. In 2026, staying legal on Florida roads isn't just about how you drive, it's about how well you manage deadlines. One missed date can quietly drain your bank account. Have you ever realized a document was expired after it was already too late? Share your story in the comments. We put real effort into warning you early. Subscribe now, it's just one click, and stay protected before deadlines cost you. Number 9. Repeat offense explosion. In Florida, February 2026 makes one thing very clear. Repeat mistakes are punished far more harshly than first ones. The system no longer treats violations as isolated events. Instead, enforcement models look at behavior patterns. Research on driver recidivism shows that repeat offenders have higher crash probabilities, and that data is now being used to justify exponential penalties, not gradual ones. Here's what shocks most drivers. Your second or third violation doesn't just add another fine, it multiplies the damage. Base fines increase sharply. Points stack faster. Insurance companies respond aggressively, often labeling drivers as high risk after repeated minor offenses. This can lead to premium surges, reduced coverage options, and mandatory programs that cost both time and money. What started as manageable tickets can snowball into a financial crisis that follows you for years. The biggest danger is underestimating the first violation. Many drivers pay a ticket and move on, unaware that they've just triggered a countdown. One more mistake within a certain time frame activates heavier penalties automatically. There's no reset button unless time passes cleanly. The smartest move in 2026 is correction, not continuation. Adjust habits immediately after a citation, slow things down, and treat the next drive as a clean slate opportunity. On Florida roads now, the second mistake is the expensive one. You think repeat offenses should cost more, or is the system going too far? Drop your opinion in the comments. We put real effort into breaking this down clearly. Subscribe now, it's just one click, and stay ahead of these financial traps. Number 10. Zero tolerance windows. In Florida, February 2026 introduces enforcement periods where mistakes cost more and forgiveness disappears. These are known as zero-tolerance windows, specific times, locations, or conditions when traffic laws are enforced at their strictest level. Backed by crash data showing spikes during holidays, weekends, school hours, and high traffic seasons, authorities apply harsher penalties to send a message. For drivers, that message often arrives as a painful financial surprise. What makes this law dangerous is timing. A behavior that might earn a warning on a normal day can trigger maximum fines and points during these windows. Speeding by a small margin, touching your phone briefly, or rolling slightly past a stop line can suddenly carry the full penalty. Insurance systems don't care why it happened, they only see the violation. That means higher premiums, lost discounts, and long-term costs that stretch far beyond the moment of enforcement. The real trap is awareness. Many drivers don't know when these zero-tolerance periods are active, yet enforcement assumes you do. The safest strategy in 2026 is heightened caution during known risk periods: early mornings, late evenings, holidays, school zones, and heavy traffic days. Slowing down during these windows isn't just safer, it's cheaper. On Florida roads now, timing can decide whether a small mistake becomes a major financial hit. Were you aware that some driving mistakes cost more depending on when they happen? Share your thoughts below. We put serious effort into keeping you informed. Subscribe now, it's just one click, and stay ahead of costly enforcement traps. As February 2026 approaches in Florida, one thing becomes clear. These driving laws are not just about safety, they're about financial consequences that build quietly over time. None of the rules we discussed may seem shocking on their own. Speeding a little. Checking your phone briefly. Missing a renewal date. Following too closely in traffic. These are habits many drivers consider normal. But in today's enforcement system, normal habits can turn into expensive patterns. The real danger isn't one massive fine, it's the stacking effect. A ticket leads to points. Points lead to insurance increases. Insurance increases last for years. Add administrative fees, compliance costs, and repeat penalties, and suddenly a small mistake becomes a long-term drain on your bank account. Most drivers don't feel the impact immediately. They feel it slowly, through higher monthly bills, lost discounts, and financial stress that seems to come from nowhere. But here's the empowering part. Awareness changes everything. When you understand how enforcement works, how insurance systems respond, and how timing affects penalties, you gain control. Simple actions, slowing down slightly, staying off your phone, checking your documents, maintaining your vehicle, can save thousands over time. In 2026, defensive driving isn't just about avoiding accidents. It's about protecting your financial stability. The roads may look the same. The signs may not change. But the consequences have evolved. And the smartest drivers this year won't just drive carefully, they'll drive strategically.